Hey guys, I'm Jay from Legends Coaching, and welcome to my Ultimate Galio Support guide. Hope you enjoy. Since the recent buffs to Galio's ultimate, he became a viable pick in the support position. Galio is a tank that brings a lot of AoE crowd control and peeling, as well as follow-up engage to his team. He's excellent against teams with a lot of AP damage. His ultimate allows him to roam and help out teammates in need, or save the AD carry from being collapsed by the enemy frontline. First, let's get to the runes. For the keystone, pick Aftershock. Thanks to Galio's CC heavy kit, you can easily proc Aftershock and become very tanky for its duration. The extra tankiness will allow you to win trades and survive engages, and generally become a very beefy meat shield. Then you can either take Shield Bash, which will give you extra damage and trades, and a little bit of resistances as long as your shield is active, or Demolish if you're confident that you will win and snowball the bot lane. For the next rune, take Second Wind if you're playing against a poke bot lane. This will allow you to regenerate HP based on your missing health and sustain the bot lane easier. Take Bone Plating if you're playing against engaged supports. This will make the trades and engages go into your favor as long as Bone Plating is active. Lastly, you can take Overgrowth, or alternatively Unflinching if you're playing against a CC heavy team. For the secondary runes, I like to take Biscuit Delivery, which grants you extra sustain and Cosmic Insight to have a shorter cooldown on my summoner spells, since you will have an easier time engaging when flash is available, and for my ulti, which has a very high base cooldown. With the runes out of the way, let us talk about the bot lane matchups. Galio is not the best engaged champion in the bot lane. His E has a wind-up animation which makes it easy to dodge with jumping abilities. Thus, he struggles against mobile champions or champions with disengage. As a result, he's weak against Janna, Nami, Vayne, and Ezreal. But Galio is really strong against immobile mages or AD carries like Zyra, Brand, Valkos, Misfortune, or Aphelios, since they have a harder time dodging Galio's engage and can be killed within one fight. His W mitigates a lot of AP damage, which makes him an even better pick against them. Engaged supports like Leona or Nautilus are in a 50-50 matchup, where the fights can go either way, depending on the execution and AD carry matchups. Next up, let's get to the abilities. Galio's passive gives him an empowered basic attack, which deals AoE damage and cannot be interrupted. The Q ability is a good way of poking the enemy during the landing phase. Use it after you land your CC abilities for extra damage. The Storm deals percentage of maximum HP of the enemies. The W gives you a passive shield that blocks magic damage based on your maximum HP. The active part of the ability makes you channel an AoE taunt. The range and taunt duration get bigger the longer you channel it. Additionally, it grants you damage reduction, while the physical damage reduction is only half of the amount of the magic reduction. The E ability is a dash forward after making a step backwards. The first enemy hit is being knocked up. Mind though that once you do the step back, you can be interrupted by enemy champions. Galio's ultimate ability is a long range jump to an ally's position, which grants allies in the area a magic damage shield and knocks up enemies. For the skill order, max W, then E, then Q. Your W shield and damage reduction scale with skill points, so max it out first to become more tanky and harder to kill. Your E cooldown is important for fights, thus maxing it second to get a shorter cooldown. Alright, let's get to the playstyle. Galio's level 1 is rather weak since you cannot do much to threaten the enemy team. You usually start with W and go E second, which gives you an all-in potential on level 2. Galio is the strongest in level 3 however, since he unlocks his full damage, so try not to get poked down too hard and reach it before your opponent does it. In general, use body language to your advantage. Don't be too obvious when you want to engage on the enemy. Walk back and forth, and if the enemy AD carry tries to go for the big juicy cannon minion, it's your time to smash! Once you hit your enemy with your E, charge up your W and put in a Q and auto attack afterwards. Remember, the longer you charge your W, the longer the taunt duration. You can furthermore use your empowered auto attacks and your Q to help your AD carry push the wave. Get your level spike earlier than the opponent. That's the trick. Thanks to his AoE taunt and high early damage, Galio is very strong in 2 vs 2 and 3 vs 3 situations. This allows you to bring a lot of Scotland Dragon control into the game. Remember, this counts after level 3. The high amount of CC also enables Galio to successfully set up ganks. Especially when your flash is available, you have a great engage onto the enemy team. You can use your flash E into W. Here's a little pro tip. Using E backwards gives the enemy player less time to react. but only use it if the enemy player has no flash available. If they have flash, E towards their escape route, which makes it more likely to hit them while they flash backwards. Once you reach level 6, you can easily roam and try to help your jungler or mid laner. Make sure to only roam if your AD carry is safe though. When it comes to teamfights, you have two choices. You can either stay behind and protect your AD carry against the enemies with your taunt and ulti, or you can use it to follow up an engage of one of your teammates. This is really depending on the individual situation. If your AD carry is ahead and strong, try to protect him and use your ultimate as a disengaging tool, while making sure to not get interrupted by CC while channeling it. If your team is making a really good engage on the enemy team, you can use it to follow up and knock up maybe 2 or 3, 5 even enemy champions. And now let's get to the super pro tip. When you need to escape, make sure to not be blocked by an enemy when using E. A good way of avoiding it is to place yourself in front of terrain while using your E, just like in this replay over here. Lastly, let's quickly go through the items. Take Relic Shield as the starting item. For your first item, you can either go for Knight's Vow, which is especially good against heavy physical damage teams, or you can also go for Zeke's or Gargoyle Stoneplate if the enemy team mostly has magic damage. Against high CC comps, you can pick Merc Threats for the extra tenacity. Against high amount of basic damage champions, you can take Ninja Tabbies. Against soft CC and slows, you can take Boots of Swiftness. Usually, Merc Threats are my go-to boots. Galio's core build consists of Knight's Vow, Stoneplate, and Zeke's conversions. Optionally items are Locket of the Iron Solari, which is great against AP burst comps, Redemption, and Protobelt. Generally speaking, Galio's build is very flexible. You can choose whatever you want to, depending on the current situation of the game. Those items are a good base to go from, but you can make up your own mind when you play the games. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this guide. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see future guides. Tell me in the comments what you want to see for future content, and make sure to visit legendscoachinglol.com. We are free League of Legends coaching community, so yeah, if you want to support us, check out our Patreon as well. Thanks guys, and see you next time.